Hey friends, okay, so I am going to be sharing with you guys our 2020-21 curriculum. I know this video is late. A lot of you guys already picked out curriculum, but I still share them because for any of you that maybe are finding that the school's online schooling isn't working for you, this might be an option. We keep it very simple. We don't unschool, but we definitely don't do a traditional school either. And that's just something that works for us. As long as my kids are progressing, I am happy and content. I don't force them to reach certain goals at certain times. And I also try to encourage them to spend more time in areas that they're interested in. Because they're going to retain a lot more if it's something they want to learn versus something they're just being forced to memorize to pass a test. And that's just kind of that's a little bit of the unschooling philosophy, but at the same time, it also is just the way I see my kids learn and retain the best. So that seems to work for us. But I'm going to show you guys because we do still have curriculum. It's just we don't have a traditional structured schedule, and we don't do it like a traditional school. So let me flip the camera and show you what we have going on for this year. Okay, so let me throw this all over here. So this is our curriculum that you see right here. We have our our world history, geography, social studies, geography, social studies here. We have spelling here, we have handwriting, and we have history, math, and then language arts. We are doing the night zookeeper, I think is what it's called, as well as their spelling has a lot of language arts in it. So I felt like adding more language arts wasn't really needed. I was still finishing out our Good and the Beautiful books, but I kind of moved away from that, and I'll tell you why in just a little bit. So let's get to it though. This is from the Master Books collection, and this is their elementary geography and culture. You can make it as complex as you want or as detailed as you want, kind of deal. It comes with lessons, activities, quizzes, answer keys, and again, you can add more to it. For ourselves, we do a verbal. If you guys saw this in my curriculum last year, we just didn't finish it, and that's why we're finishing it this year. We do a verbal. I ask these questions verbally, and then they can go through and answer them. Then the worksheets are honestly a little bit too childish for my kids. They're not into coloring, so I don't make them color the flag and stuff like that. There are some recipes and things in there. If they choose to do them, we do. But more than anything, I think for younger kids, it could be a lot of fun as well. But for older kids, you can add to it and just have them do a research paper on a subject. So like if we do social studies for the week, we might learn 2 or 3 different countries, and then they can pick one on the last day because we do school 4 days a week, and they could write like a more detailed paper about it. Or sometimes I'll hit teacher pays teacher and see if they have any like worksheets or something about them, maybe for my younger son, but then have my daughter write a paper. We try to do social studies every other week. That does not always happen, but we alternate that in history. So this is the teacher guide, and then we go into the passport. This kind of goes through and you read about a country while you're in here. That goes along with whichever one is from the teacher guide. And then there's also information in the atlas about it, so you can kind of learn where it is and learn some more about it. So we use these 2 books as resources just to dive deeper. And then after we study the place, then we go through the questions and answers. So that's how we do that. Again, we do it oral. It just seems to be better. And then that way, if there's a country or something they're really interested in, we can dive in deeper. But that's just kind of to get an overview of each country. Because again, if they're not interested in learning it, they're probably not going to remember it. But if they at one point, like my son loves Tokyo. So if we do the Japan studies, for him, that would be real interesting, and he might want to dive deeper into it. My daughter at one point was really interested in Australia, so she could dive deeper into, learning about Australia. So it just works better to do it that way, because then they learn more about the country in an exciting way. We can watch movies and videos, and we can supplement with other things as well. So then we have a reason for spelling. This is also from Master Books. I ordered it off Master Books, I believe, or I might have gotten these ones off Amazon. I can't remember, actually. I think I got these off Amazon. We used to use a reason for spelling before, and we loved it. I really love their reason for writing too. They also have a reason for spelling and a reason for reading, which are really nice too. So this is the level B. This is my son's spelling, and then level F is my daughter's. It is biblical principles to it, so I like that. But I mean, like, look at these. So this is at the beginning. This is the word list at the beginning of the year, and it's like, those are pretty big words, but then you look at the end of the year, and this is just, I would say, halfway through, because we're only at lesson 23, and these words are getting pretty big. So I really like that. It really does teach a lot of new ones. Let me see. Here's, I don't know what just one is this. I don't know if that's the last lesson or not, but either way, it's really nice as far as it goes through. I'll show you what a normal week looks like. So there's, I believe, only 4 lessons. No, there's 5. Are there 5 or 4? I'm drawing a blank. Okay, so the first day, you tell them the spelling words and they write them down, and it's just an assessment to see what they know, what they don't know, and what they need to work on. Sometimes we do this, sometimes we don't. I'm not, like, again, really big on testing and putting that pressure on them, so I feel like it's not necessarily necessary, but then I can have them just write the words just to practice. Then they also write the words again here in these boxes using the word bank. This day is kind of like a fun day, and so this would be like our day 2. They can go in and they can choose what they want to do. If they want to do the hide and seek, use it in forms, do a fun way of spelling it, they can kind of choose how they want to do that. And then there's another fun day here activity. A lot of times it's a word search. Sometimes it's those fill in the blank ones. It just depends. And then you have dictation and proofreading, which is also a really great way of doing that. So I read her a sentence, and then she writes it down, making sure she uses correct punctuation, capitalization. And then on the last day, there is a game again that you can do, and then you journal and you can write. And I think that's really neat too, how that goes. Now, this also has in the teacher's guide, let me show you guys. So level F. So in the teacher's guide, like if we go to lesson, whatever, it has an answer guide. And this is something that I actually like, because The Good and the Beautiful does not have an answer teacher guide, and I don't remember all the grammar stuff, so that can be kind of hard. And this again shows you how you're going to do it. So like this is lesson 26. This is the story that you read. And again, it has like a Christian theme to it. So that's really cool. And it continues on throughout the grades. So you read the story, and then you have discussion words for comprehension. And then here's your, spelling list. And if you, excuse me, do the spelling list, it not only gives you the word, but it also gives you a sentence to give it to them in, which is really nice. So, you don't even have to come up with your sentence. And then it has this is still day 1. You do the, word bank here again. If you have an answer kit, it gives you different ways that you can, do things. And then it goes in here. Day 2 is your fun game, gives you options, just different. This is really cool because this is like just general. If you have a visual learner, this is how you can do it. If you're an auditory learner, or if you have a tactile learner. So I really like that you can use one curriculum for multiple learning styles. And that's really, really nice. But I don't have to switch out necessarily. So this again is going to give you guides on how to do it. And then day 3, here you go again. You're going to write it in. It also talks about a memory verse, because that went along with that story that we read. There was a memory verse that went with it. And so just practice your memory verse again. And then day 4, here is again how you can do it. Dictation, here's the sentences you want her to read, that you want to read to her and have her fill out, or him. And then this is day 4/day 5. And so this is where you can do this on day 4 if you're, having a 4-day school work week, which is what we do. And then this is day 5. And because it's a game, they don't do it. And that's just kind of how it works. So, and then you can journal. So that's kind of how we do it. And it really works great for us because we can get our schoolwork done in 4 days. It teaches them a really great lesson. And that is the same for my son, who is level B. So it's the same idea. You have a teacher's manual and a student one. And it's really important. You do need both for this curriculum. I know sometimes you don't, but his is going to be the same idea. His obviously is going to be, you know, the words aren't going to be quite as hard. And again, this is level B. So you would think, okay, so A is kindergarten, first grade. No, it's not how it works. It really goes with, I think it goes higher as far as like it really works really good for them. Oh, the other thing is too, I was looking at in one of these, I think it's in my daughter's. So this is a lot more phonics, but even then, I guess it was in my daughter's I was looking at. Let me flip through. I think I might have already put it in. It was showing like how to address an envelope. It talks about different things too. So that is helpful too because you're learning those things. It's not just spelling. So I like that about it. And then my son's, it's set up the same way where you read that story on the first day and then you do the words, you do your worksheet. And then you go through, and this is actually a review lesson that I'm showing right now. So you have reviews and then you have lessons and they go through, here's your theme verse and then your story. And it's just a really great way to teach your kids, I feel, and to get them, you know, interested in spelling. It's a fun way. And I think spelling is important for just general writing and vocabulary. So we love the reason for spelling. And my daughter, she has a book, a handwriting book as well, but I have actually put it already all into our baskets where we organize. And so she doesn't have any ready, but like this is my son's. These are really small lessons because they actually do quite a bit of writing in their spelling book. I like that these are just quick little lessons. So like here's tip of the day, you know, how are capital B's and R's alike? How are they different? Name someone that you know that begins with a capital B, like starts with a B, name starts with a B and R, and then they practice writing it across. That's it for day 1. Super small, right? Super. Then lesson day 2, you're learning blessed and word, you're writing those. Day 3, you're a few more words, and day 4, you're going to trace over and practice writing your memory verse. And then they have it to day 5 can be, they give you these extra papers in the back. And you can write your memory verse on all of these papers back here. And they say like, give them to a friend, send them to a grandparent, send them to, you know, a family member, whatever. So if you want to, you can do that. But if not, you don't have to. But it's really cute because if you want to have the kids color and write it and send it to somebody, it's a really great thing to have. Or just practice it and have it up for the week, whatever they want to do. So that would technically be their day 5. But again, since we only school 4 days, we stop here. And that is the end of the lesson. My daughter has cursive for hers. Let me see. So this is, I'll just grab our bin right here. This is how I organize their school. I did a whole video on this, so I won't go too into it, but we are on week 10. Okay, so actually we were further, but so this is my son's and his is clipped in here. I pull their lessons out of the book, and so I clip all of his writing and his spelling and his math. That's just a practice math sheet. He actually does math online, and then I do the same. Here's my daughter's. For my daughter, so hers you can see is cursive, and then she has her spelling here as well. And so that's all put into these folders. So that way it's easy for them to grab. We know what we're working on. They just know to go to the next week that has worksheets in it and then go from there. So that is how we organize it. And that goes in there. And I just put whatever else, you know, they need. But because that's really their only book work, that's what goes in there. And then what happens is, we have these folders that I picked up off Amazon as well. And I liked them because they have a little pencil spot at the bottom, and then she puts her paper clips in there too. and they can take these wherever they want in the house. And then when they grab their worksheets out of here, they store them in here, or pictures of Tom Holland in her case, because she also likes to look at him. And they know that that's their work. When they finish, they put it back in their bin. And at the end of the week or at the end of the day, I check it. And then I actually put all of their completed work at the very back of my box back here. So this is all the completed work we've done this year so far. So, which, I mean, school hasn't been in that long, and that's quite a bit of work actually. So I love that. Then we have our American history, which again, you saw this last year. We are still working our way through it. Again, we read it and then we answer. They have questions already put into this curriculum. It does come with a workbook as well, but because we like to do a lot of, my husband loves history shows, so the kids get a lot of history that way. But we also like to just go through and read through here and then do the questions. So we're still working our way through this. Once we get through, we'll move on to American History 2 and 3. We're just still working on number 1. And then we have our, let's go to the home page. We have our teaching textbooks. So,
I have a school question.
What's that?
Can I go to Walmart after this?
Oh.
To get a GED book?
So this is our teaching textbooks. Now this is the 4.0 version. There still are some things that are updating in this program, but where did we go? Oh, my Adobe Flash is not working. That's why. This is one of the things that they are working on, is getting rid of Adobe Flash, because it will become obsolete here in December of this year, or January of this 2021. So they are working on switching the whole program over. So this is teaching textbooks, and you simply push your lesson you're on, and then there is what's called the lecture, and you're going to click on the lecture right down here, and it will start. And I love it because it does it all for me.
Lesson 8, subtraction. We've been doing quite a few addition problems, but what about subtraction problems? Well, as you already know, subtraction is basically the
So he is in level 4, and because this is the beginning of the year, we didn't start teaching textbooks when we started our other stuff. We just went over some multiplications and stuff, and then we came into teaching textbooks, and it was funny because they started back reviewing way back. So it's doing quite a few reviews here in the first couple lessons. But if you look here, we've got our lessons, and then you keep clicking down, and it actually, whoops, I went too far. It actually has quizzes built in. So like there it says quiz 6, it has quizzes built in. And then this is their lecture. They have some practices. They go through all of them and they do the problem. So he has not finished this lesson. He needs to go through because it shows he did the practice one, but he didn't finish it. So I'm going to go back to home here real quick, and you can see it's logged in under my son. So I'm going to log him out, and I'm going to log in under parent, and we're going to log in. Okay, so, oh, this is still the 3.0. It hasn't switched to 4.0. I know. Wait, what happened? I'm not sure what's going on. There we go. That should be the right one. All right, here we go. So you open your parent homepage, and it will give me everything I need to, I can print their grades. I can print a textbook and an answer key, which is really nice too. So if we're traveling somewhere, one of the new features with the 4.0 is going to be, I believe, it being able to use it offline. I'm not sure on that. We're still learning all of that. And I am sponsored. I am a paid payer promoter, I guess, influencer for teaching textbooks. We do receive our curriculum for free in exchange for the review. We were using teaching textbooks for years before they contacted us and asked us if we'd be interested. So it wasn't like it was like a no-brainer for me. I'm like, yeah, we've been paying for it, so why not get it for free and just tell people about it, because we've been doing it anyways. So this is the grade book for parents, so you can go in and you can see, and like I can see his scores. So that tells me all the scores there on the end. It shows me how many he got correct, how many he completed. And then it shows everything right here. So I can see exactly how many problems there were, how many completed, how many got right, and what his score was. So if there's some low scores, I know he may need to go back and work on something. Sometimes I will, if it feels like he's repeating a lot, and just getting 100%, 100%, 100%, or like 95, 100, or I will actually let him skip ahead to a quiz. And if he gets, you know, a 95 or higher on a quiz, then he can skip lessons. So that's something, again, that as a homeschooler, it's so nice to be able to have that option. So that is our math, our language arts, our spelling, our, our handwriting. And then we also have extra books in here that we just go through if we want, that talk about history or whatever. This is kind of what I call our morning basket, or like, you know, if we want to do something different. My son has reading books in here that he can go through. We also have reading books and reading supplements and art and state stuff here. So there's a bunch for them to do, and they never get. So that is the basic of our homeschooling curriculum. I know that was a long video, but it covered our, our 9th grader and our 4th grader, or she's doing some 10th grade work too. 10th grader, 9th/10th grader, and our 4th grader, their curriculum that we're using this year. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. It really does help our channel. It helps channels when you do that, because they give more play to the people, which helps us get out there more. So I would appreciate that. And I will be sure to show you guys more about our curriculum. If there's a particular curriculum that you want to see like a complete individual review of, or a more in-depth review, just let me know in the comments below and I will share that with you. But I hope you guys have a wonderful school year and enjoy and relax. It's not as hard as it needs to be, I think, or as some people think it should be. You don't need to stress so much, because it really is not as big of a deal as you think. So you probably are doing a rocking job on it, so don't worry. And we will see you guys all again real soon. Have a beautiful, blessed day. Bye for now.